Hey guys, welcome to Thursday afternoon, October 3rd. Uh, Discover Arbonne. My name is Kevin Duffy, and I am coming to you live with my buddy Matt Comeau. And I'm going to bring Matt on now. Everything about Arbonne, what this is all about.
There he is.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm
doing all right.
Right on. Hey, we actually figured out how to make this work.
We
did. I'm actually getting a little bit of echo on my end. Are you getting any?
No. You know what? It sounds like it's working on my end. This might be what happened before here. What do you want to do? Bearable for you, or do you want to hop off and hop back on?
Let me see if I can connect my headphones and see if that helps.
Sure. Everybody that's watching, we're having some technical difficulties here at the moment. Two guys trying to figure out how to do live.
Yeah.
There we go. How's that? Does that help?
Can you hear me now?
I got you. Yep.
I'm still getting feedback on these things, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. You want to try and keep headphones on your end?
Yeah, you know what? Here, let me plug in just 1 second.
You got it.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. We're working on the feedback. I'm sure everybody's getting it. Seems so well. Try the earbuds. Yep, we're working on the earbuds.
With my buddy Matt Comeau. And
yeah, you know what? Here, let me plug in just 1 second.
You're getting real bad. How's that?
There we go. How's that?
Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Let's see if we get a thumbs up from somebody here. Hello, Michelle Hudson. How are you? Thanks for watching. Somebody give us a thumbs up if this sounds good to you.
There we go. All right, I think we're good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, Christina gave us a heads up. Cool. So let's jump in. My name Kevin Duffy. I'm in Yonkers, New York, full-time firefighter with the city of Yonkers. I am an independent consultant and a area manager with Arbonne International. I've been in the business since March 31st, 2018, so just about a year and a half ago. And I'm sitting here with my buddy Matt. Matt is a former corporate world worker for 10 years now, an entrepreneur and a real estate investor and a regional. Are you executive yet or just regional?
Not yet. Working on that E.
All right, working on that E. So regional vice president, we'll get into what all of those terms mean and the levels in the business. So Matt, let me kick it off. I'll kick it over to you. Just kind of give us a little insight of your journey and what life looked like before Arbonne, and how you got started and kind of where you are now in the business and in life.
Totally. Yeah. And just so a heads up, I'm getting a ton of feedback too. So I'm hearing like us talking a minute ago. But anyways, I'll try and fight through it here. So I'm just going to actually turn it down on my end and just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me.
Yeah, you're still
okay.
Good.
Perfect. So I'm just going to talk. I can't hear anything right now, but I'm just going to talk so everyone else can hear. But anyways, first of all, Kevin, just want to say it's been a long time coming that we've been planning to do this, and thanks for teeing this up. I think it's a great idea. We have to have, there's a ton of men that are in this business, and we're just two examples of guys who are doing well because we see so much value in what we have to offer here with Arbonne, and we're excited to put it out there to people who want to continue to share this with the men that should be taking advantage of this opportunity with us, because we can help so many people, and we're excited to share this. So I'll just share a little bit about my story here, and I'll just try and keep it nice and quick. As Kevin mentioned, I was in the corporate world for about 10 years, but really kind of how I connected with Arbonne and what my story is with it is I was basically pioneering the expansion of a company in Western Canada. So I'm in Southern Ontario right now. This is where I grew up, and basically I was enjoying what I did. I loved the company I was with, but I just got to this point that in order for me to find success to the level that I wanted, I was working 80 to 100 hours a week. And I know there's a lot of people out there that can relate And even though I would do it all over again and I wouldn't trade my experience for the world, because it taught me a ton, it really created who I am. I just got to this point where I thought, this isn't what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. If I'm going to be working this hard, I don't want to be building someone else's dream. So I just got to this point where I thought, what else is there? What's next? And, I've been at the, between the ages at that time of 23 to 26 years old and feeling like my life was on hold. It really taught me a lot, where I realized how much I wanted to make sure that I had leverage in my life so that I wasn't going to trade time for money for the rest of my life. So it's just funny how things come along. I have an older sister who's now a national vice president, Natalie Zombek, with Arbonne. But it's funny because, geez, 10 years ago now, she came to me and said, hey, I'm checking out this Arbonne thing and I love the products and I don't know anything about the business. And that's why she came to me and she said, can you just make sure this isn't a bad idea? Because I'm thinking of doing this for myself. And so, being her brother, I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to get into something she shouldn't. So I looked at it very much from the business perspective from day one. And that's kind of the way that I've always thought. So, I know a lot of people when they're first introduced to this, and especially males, are, kind of like, whoa, no, I couldn't see myself being part of something like this. For me, like right away, I was like, hey, this is not something that I ever dreamt of growing up doing. I never thought I'd be an Arbonne consultant or representing personal care products or even part of this industry. But, sometimes, when an opportunity comes along, it just depends on how open you are to really understanding what it's all about. And I feel super fortunate that I really kind of looked at it from the perspective of the opportunity in the business to really make sure that I wasn't closing myself off to something that could be really good for me. So I got it instantly. I thought this is a great opportunity. My biggest hesitation was, I'm a male. What are people going to think about me, schlepping lipstick is the way I kind of looked at it. The funny thing is, I hardly talk cosmetics in this business, so there's so much more to it. But that was my initial, challenge with it, my initial hesitation. But anyways, once I realized how massive of an opportunity this is, and the way that I really looked at it very simply was get a higher quality product, a safer product. I want to be healthy. I've always, worked out, played sports, all that type of stuff, paid attention to what I eat and whatnot. Never thought about what I put on my body is just as important. And when I realized, why not get a higher quality, safer product at a discount, get tax benefits because I have a home-based business, and then help other people do the same thing. And I realized I could create a time leveraged income just from helping a ton of people with the products and the opportunity. So for me, it was a no-brainer right away. Told my sister, I'm super curious to see how you do with this, because I was working 100 hours a week at the time, didn't have any space to take on anything else, but it was in the back of my mind and I kind of watched my sister for a bit. But Arbonne was the thing that helped me decide to transition out of that role and what I was doing, and decide to kind of take a big leap at that time in my life and come back to Ontario where I'm from and make a big change. So it's been the best decision I've ever made. It's completely changed my family's life. I did kind of go into different corporate roles and whatnot alongside, but that's the benefit, is it wasn't like, hey, I have to do Arbonne or something else. It was Arbonne, and Arbonne was designed to work alongside my day-to-day life. So yeah, so I decided to build this alongside, I was in corporate sales roles. I went back into kind of the franchising world and supporting entrepreneurs within a franchise company and whatnot. Again, amazing experiences, loved all of it, but it just got to the point where with my Arbonne business, I was able to walk away from the corporate world. And coming up on 2 years ago now, I walked away from the corporate world, and it's changed my family's life, and just being able to travel. I just got back from a week in California yesterday, so if anyone's been following along on social media, but just being able to kind of travel when I want to and have the time to do the things that I want. I've created other businesses outside of Arbonne. As Kevin mentioned, I invest in real estate and whatnot as well. So the cool thing is Arbonne allows me to do all these other things. It's because of Arbonne I've been able to create the life that I have. And my sister's a national vice president. My aunt is also a regional vice president. So we have 3 Mercedes in the family from Arbonne, which is nice. And again, we just love helping so many people with this opportunity. So anyways, that's a bit about my story. And it's been an amazing ride, and excited to continue to share it with people. So anyways, that's me. Kevin, what about you? Why don't we kick it back over to you to share your story?
Yeah, that's an awesome story. I love hearing that. And we met in Vegas in May at the global conference and got to know each other and chat a bit and been following each other. So yeah, I got started a year and a half ago. A friend presented this to me because I've been plant-based now for over 4 years, and I'm a Ironman athlete, ultra marathoner, marathons. And I kind of changed my lifestyle around just being a fireman. Before I was a bartender, I worked in construction. I was, doing a whole load of jobs and trying to figure out kind of what I wanted to do. I got on the fire department over 8 years ago, and I loved that job. But I kind of hit like a health breaking point in work about 5 or 6 years ago, and had put some weight on, and I was a college athlete, so I really revamped my lifestyle and educated myself. So when I got presented with this, I went plant-based on my own from the research and following athletes and a couple of role models out there. And then when my friend Nicolina introduced me to this, I was like, oh, these are all kind of very healthy products. The ingredients kind of stood out to me. And that kind of caught my eye. And I was looking for something to help people. I'm getting a little feedback here, but help people kind of learn what I learned on my own, and I realized this was the opportunity to jump on that. So I jumped in, and I was like, you know what, this isn't something I thought I would do, but the question she asked me was like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what do you want to do? Like, you're a fireman, I'm taking tests to promote and try and work my way up in that work world. But it kind of struck a chord with me, like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years. Probably like the same thing. And that was like alarming, and I was like, well, I have a few ideas, but I hadn't really acted on any. So for me, I jumped right in and kind of blindly, like, I didn't really do any research on the industry or the company. It was just really all about the ingredients that stood out to me as I became a label reader. And that, now, a year and a half later, just kind of, as people say, blindly running with the business. I'm reaching out to people. I realize this is a powerful company and a powerful opportunity at the forefront of health and wellness. And, our products are one of a kind. And just really giving back to others what I had learned on my own, that this was a vehicle I could help people kind of grasp that knowledge easy, kind of wrapped up in a box, and send it to their house, and educate them and coach them and get them to sort of see what we're doing, right? And like you said, I didn't see myself in this kind of workspace, right, and being in network marketing or social marketing. But it's just funny because I'm still a fireman. I work there 50 hours a week or more as I pick up shifts, and I do this on the side, and I still train for I love racing and triathlons and marathons and all that stuff. So it is, like you said, alongside already what I'm doing, but building that for the future as my second retirement plan, right? I'm building, I'm fortunate enough to have a retirement plan in place through the city of Yonkers, but now, planning to double that or triple that, or, whatever the X factor is that this offers, because it's, it's sort of a limitless opportunity on what you make of it. So that's my story. And then if you want to, I'll throw it back to you to just kind of touch a little bit on the industry and what this, what these lipstick pyramid schemes are all about that we're working, that everyone has a preconceived notion of, but really a lack of understanding.
Totally. Yeah. No, and again, awesome to kind of hear your story again and whatnot. And that's one of the things I love, is just the fact that, just the fact I'm in Canada, you're in the US, you're in New York, I'm in Southern Ontario, just connecting with good people, right? And like you said, you're creating the ability to, make sure that you have even more cushion for the future and have what you want in the future. Like you said, I already have kind of the firefighter, the future retirement set up and whatnot, but you're just building on having more choice. There's no limit, right? So I just love that. But anyways, yeah, like Kevin mentioned, I'm going to touch on just kind of the industry here. We thought we'd kind of do a mini Discover Arbonne, is what we call it in the Arbonne world, which is just kind of hitting on kind of the main points of the business. But I'll just touch on the industry here. And as Kevin mentioned, one of the things that I'm a big believer in is I think that this is one of the most misunderstood industries on the planet. But at the same time, too, it is one of the fastest growing. I mean, the stats don't lie. It's out there. So basically, the social marketing, network marketing industry, and really especially combined with health and wellness, which is what we are with Arbonne, is one of the most biggest opportunities out there in terms of just a growth opportunity for something that people are looking for. But really at the end of the day, like I said, it's probably one of the most misunderstood, but the way that I always kind of paint the picture for people is think about a time when, you may have recommended a restaurant. Okay, a restaurant that you really enjoyed. You tell your friends, hey, we love this place, go there. I was just in San Francisco this week and I had so many people offer me restaurant recommendations. It was insane. But all of those restaurant owners in San Francisco aren't paying all my friends a little bit of a cut because we went there for dinner. So, restaurants, movies, books, whatever. This is what human beings do. We talk about things that we enjoy, but typically we're just not getting paid for it. And why shouldn't we? That's kind of the question, is because it's advertising. Again, when I was in the corporate world, working in the franchising world, the franchise owners I worked with, they paid big bucks for advertising and to buy leads in a sense. And that's just the way that the world works. But what we do in social marketing is all we are is just a different distribution system of how products and services get to an end user's hand, and it's driven via word of mouth. That's it. Like I say, a lot of people think it's this, throw around the term pyramid scheme and stuff like that. But basically, this is a very legit business model that is governed these days. The Wild West back in the day of, network marketing and social marketing, sure, things like pyramid schemes did happen, but these days it's a very regulated industry. But with that being said, that's all it is. It's just a different way that products and services get to an end user's hand, but it's driven via word of mouth. So you're never going to see, products with Arbonne or other network marketing companies sitting on shelves in retail stores, or see Beyonce advertising them on billboards or commercials and stuff like that. So all they do is they take the money that typically goes into the process of distribution and advertising and things like that and redirect the money back into the people. So really what it does in the world that we're working in with health and wellness is we solve two problems. So typically when products like, Kevin and I are big into the nutrition products. So for example, like our protein powder or fizz sticks or something like that, or even like the shampoos and skincare and stuff like that. Typically, in order for it to get to somebody's hands when it goes through a retail system, you buy it off a store shelf, is it has to go through all these different hands. And the issue with that is the timepiece. A lot of products in North America have to have like an 8 to 10 year shelf life just to make it through that process. And all those middlemen are taking a piece of the pie and they're driving the price of the product up. So what we do in direct selling, network marketing, social marketing, however you want to call it, is we remove all the middlemen. So it solves those two problems. So basically what we do is we only have a 1 year shelf life open, 2 years closed for our products. You don't need to have harmful chemical ingredients that give it that 6 to 8 to 10 year shelf life in order to make it through that retail process. And the other part is the fact that there's so much more money available because we're not paying all these middlemen to put their hands on it. It goes directly from the manufacturer, and Arbonne is the manufacturer with it, which I think is really important for people to know. It's not third world countries that are making our products or anything like that. And it gets drop shipped directly to the consumer via word of mouth advertising through the independent consultants. So those who talk the most, those who share the most, literally make the most. Like, this is an effort-based business. Most people out there in the working world don't have the ability to have control over their income. But really, what it comes down to is the more people you share this with, the bigger your paycheck is going to be. And that's, of course, one of the reasons why Kevin and I are passionate about this, is because we get compensated nicely for sharing it, but more importantly, it's just an indicator of how many people we've helped, is how big your paycheck is, whether it's through the product or the opportunity. And the way that I've always looked at this is, yes, we have the best products out there. We have amazing products at a price point that people are used to paying. But at the same time too, I know more people go to bed at night worried about their bank account than their skincare. So we can help people with an opportunity to increase their financial future as well. So anyways, that's a little bit about the industry. Kevin, why don't you tell them a little bit about kind of the product side of things?
Sure. You touched on it a bit. So we have the largest vegan catalog in the world, right? Botanically based, over 300 consumable products that we use daily. So as Matt mentioned, we have nutrition, we have skincare, we have makeup, we have personal care, bath, something for everybody, all demographics, all genders, all age, all things that are consumable goods. So we don't limit ourselves to just nutrition or just makeup or just like clothing in the network marketing space. We have something for everybody, and things we use every single day. We're going to run out of them, and then we're going to rebuy them from our own store at a discount. So it's pretty simple, just redirecting, our spending. We're pure, safe, and beneficial. You'll hear that term a lot if you look up Arbonne or you talk to any Arbonne consultants. We're botanically based, combining the best of nature and the safest of green science. So it's everything you want in your products and nothing that you don't. From high performance nutrition and results driven anti-aging skincare. We're vegan certified. We're certified OU kosher, non-GMO, dairy free, soy free, nut free, gluten free. We don't use any harmful chemicals, no artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives, sweeteners, chemicals, dyes. Like you'll see that, I see it now more and more on shelves. You'll see like no parabens, no sulfates, no artificial sweeteners. Companies are starting to pick up on this, but we've been, Arbonne's been around for almost 40 years, and they've been this way since its inception. So we ban over 2,000 known harmful chemicals in our products, where the European Union kind of set the bar at about 14 or 1,500. So any products sold in Europe have to abide by those laws and rules. But here in the US, we ban about 15 on the generous side. So if you think of that, the European Union is 100 times safer, or the US products are 100 times more toxic compared to the European Union. And we've voluntarily gone beyond that. So over 2,000 banned chemicals. We're a one-stop shop for cleaner products. We take the toxins off the table, and that way they don't get into your body, into your skin. So our skin is our largest organ, which most people don't realize. So we are what we eat, but we are what we absorb. And our skin is a very efficient and effective delivery system. So if you think of like the patch for smokers, you put that on your skin, that gets directly absorbed by your bloodstream and then into your system, and your organs have to process that and facilitate it. So it's knowing this and learning this along the way was really eye-opening for me. It's something I didn't really know about or pay any attention to. And it's kind of scary, but it's not to scare people. It's just that we educate people to become smarter and more knowledgeable consumers. So we're free of parabens, which are linked to breast cancer tumors. We're free of mineral oil and petroleum products, which are hormone disrupting chemicals. I think it's 1 in 4 people today are infertile or sterile. And that has a lot to do with the chemicals that are in our food and in these personal care products, which is a pretty alarming rate. So just switching your brand over to Arbonne, you become your own health advocate, right? And we show people how to do that just by shopping online. We're already spending this money on something somewhere else, and we just switch it over because a lot of those chemicals that I mentioned, like the common ones, are sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, dyes, artificial colors, fragrance, perfume. They're linked to like thyroid dysfunction and a lot of the epidemic illnesses that are running rampant in the world today that we've sort of invented, which I don't think people look at. We look to treat a lot of illnesses, but people don't really look at the prevention side of things. So we're certified B Corp now. We partnered with TerraCycle. We hope to be, I think, it's plastic free by 2030. So really like a company that's on the forefront. We'll talk more about the company, but I'll let you touch a little bit on the compensation plan and kind of how we get paid, how your family's driving free Mercedes, and a little bit about that.
Totally. Yeah, no, that's it's an awesome description there, Kevin. And yeah, so I'll touch on the comp plan here, but just to kind of touch on the product here to kind of wrap that up is one of the things that I especially speaking with other men about the business and whatnot too, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm not a producty person. But the reality is, if you're part of society, we're all using these products, whether you like it on a day-to-day, whether you like it or not, on a day-to-day basis, we're all consuming personal care products. So those are all the reasons why that Kevin mentioned that you want to consider something like this. But anyways, in terms of the finance side of things, the money side of things, how do you actually make money with this type of thing? One of the things that I really liked when I personally was taking a look at this was the fact that, it's a very simple compensation plan. At the end of the day, we get paid for the recommendations of the product. So instead of you buying it from a store shelf and the company going into the kind of the corporate side of things and everyone kind of getting paid all the way through there, this is just where, again, the money is available for the people who want to share it the most. So first of all, there's only really 5 levels to our compensation plan. Independent consultant all the way up to national vice president, which I'll explain in a second. But there's also a couple ways that you can get paid. And people hear me talking about all the time that I think not only these days is it smart to have multiple income streams within your life, I think it's becoming more and more of a necessity these days, right? Income levels are not keeping up with the cost of living. When they report inflation, it's really actually a lot higher than what they actually report. It just depends on the basket of goods that they're reporting on. Things like that, like housing prices. Where I am in Southern Ontario, most millennials I know don't even actually think about buying a house in the future because it's becoming far and farther out of the reality of options for people. So there's so many reasons why multiple income streams are more important than they've ever been. And that's what Arbonne can be is kind of that we're in the era of the side hustle. So this can be a side hustle, a plan B that can turn into a plan A for you eventually, or wherever you want it to fit within your life. So with that, a couple ways that we get paid within this business, there's actually multiple income streams within Arbonne. So first of all, we get paid on direct sales, which means that, if you sell a product to somebody, you get paid a commission every single time those people buy. And like Kevin mentioned, we're dealing in consumable products. So when people run out, they have to buy again. So it's kind of a cool situation in that sense. We have something called overrides, which basically just means you make a small percentage off of the sales of your team. And no, it doesn't go on forever. Nobody gets paid all the time off of everything. But basically, that's your incentive to help other people find success. And the best part I love about that is the fact that you only get paid when those people you're helping are getting paid first. So we get paid to help people create an income and make money. We have cash bonuses. We have a Mercedes-Benz cash bonus program, which is great. And then there's actually bonuses and trips. And there's a whole bunch of different things. I'd argue there's a whole bunch of income streams, but those are kind of some of the main ones. And then as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that I loved about Arbonne was the fact that the compensation plan was very simple. Okay. Like there wasn't a lot to it. I've seen other ones that there's like 20, 25 levels. It was kind of confusing how it all worked. But basically all it is the bigger that your sales volume is between you and your organization each month, can help you promote up to different titles. So first we have district manager, which basically I'm going to just kind of speak to averages across kind of North America, Canada and the US. Getting to that point specifically just for overrides, average monthly income is about $300 a month. So it's not a ton of money, but I encourage people to think like, hey, what could an extra $300 a month do for you? That's a car payment. That's the ability to maybe go on a trip with your family in a year or whatever it is, right? That can range anywhere from $0 a month up to about $1,500 a month as a district manager. And I've also seen some people take, literally a week to get to district manager. And I've seen some people take a couple of years to get to district manager too. It's an effort-based business and you get out of it what you put into it. Then the next level is area manager. A lot of people really try to push to this level because it becomes a willable asset. So that's where, if you have a family or whatnot, you can will your business down to your family. God forbid if something were to happen, it doesn't mean that the income from your business stops because you've created a business with this, and you could actually will that to your kids or whoever it makes sense to will that to within your life. Average monthly income as an area manager, about $1,600 a month. It can range anywhere from about $400 up to about $4,000 a month. And again, this is still very part-time on the side of whatever your life looks like. The next level is regional, and that's Kevin right there. So average at that point in terms of getting there is about 16, 17 months, I think. Again, I've seen some people literally do it in 2 to 3 months and seen some people take a couple years. The point is the journey doesn't matter. Everyone's journey is a little bit different. The next level is regional vice president. That's the level that I'm at. A lot of people call it the Mercedes-Benz level. So that's where Arbonne in Canada gives you $1,060 towards any white Mercedes you want. I think it's $900 in the US, Kevin, something like that. So
I think it's 800.
800. Okay. So basically towards the lease or finance of any white Mercedes you want. And it's just, I always say it's the best business card. Like it's proof that it works, right? People see you driving the Mercedes and they, it's kind of like, okay, they must be doing something, right? It obviously works. But it's just kind of a, a nice little perk for success. But the car is great, but the income at that point is where it really changes the game for a lot of people. So at that point, the average, I know specifically in Canada is about $6,600 a month just for the overrides portion of our compensation plan. And that can range anywhere from about 4,000-ish or so, all the way up to about 14,000 or so. And again, I've seen some people get there literally within a couple of months from the time of starting their business. There's a ton of people, especially millennials right now, that are killing it on social media and building massive businesses. And that's a whole other part we're not even really talking about today. But the social media piece that can really help create a massive reach around the globe to share this opportunity with people. So at that point, the income is at that point where for a lot of people, it just creates so much choice. And for me, that's why I do this, is for the ability to choose and to help other people have choice in their life. And, whether it's walk away from the job that you don't love, or, if you want to kind of double income it, you love your job, you love what you do day to day, you're just creating more financial options for yourself. And then the next level is national vice president, top level of the company, bigger cash bonus towards your Mercedes. And average monthly income is around $18,000, $19,000 a month, and it's unlimited income potential. I mean, there's people literally making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month doing this business, and there's no glass ceiling. So the income, you might be thinking about that, going, "Wow, I can't even fathom $18,000 a month right now," and that's okay. Maybe it's just an extra $300, $400, $500 a month, whatever it is. The person that's sharing this with you could definitely show you and help you how to get to whatever makes sense for you and what you're looking for. The cool thing is I see a lot of people start for that $500 a month, and then their vision grows and they realize how many people they can help with this opportunity. And then it turns into so much more than what they ever expected. But the best part is, I always tell people, your business will never be bigger than you. Your paycheck will never be bigger than you. So really, we kind of get paid to develop into the best version of ourselves within Arbonne. And that's one of the best perks of this business. So anyways, that's a little bit about the compensation plan and a little bit about the dollars and cents. Kevin, why don't you tell the people a little bit about the company?
Sure. Yeah, the money part is always good. People are always interested. Do you really make that amount of money? Do people really have the cars? It's like, yes, that I make that amount of money, and yes, I've met, so many people now with the cars. I thought it was a funny thing at first when my sponsor told me that. I was like, yeah, there's probably like one person in LA that drives a car, but I've met dozens. And just to touch on that, for me, it was, I think it was like $200 or $300 a month. I said would be, a good start to pay for the products I was already buying. So that was my initial goal at that district manager level, and they laid out how to do it and how many people to, reach out to and talk to, and I hit that, and then, it's only continued from there, as you said, as your vision grows and you just see how just talking to people, you build your business. So a little history about Arbonne. They've been around for 40 years. As I said, we're a $600 million company. And about half of that money was paid out to the independent consultants last year. We're on our way to being over $1 billion company in the network marketing space, and that will definitely put us at the top tier. The really interesting part is that we're only in 6 countries, right? So we haven't even globalized. So this is definitely ground level. People think they don't know enough people. We haven't even hit like 99% of Europe. So we're in the US, we operate in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and Poland. So if you know somebody in those, you can build a business in those countries just by talking, getting one person involved, and it builds from there. And the really interesting part is that we're at the, in the intersection of 4 mega trends. So we're a health and wellness business, which is like booming now. Everybody's talking about plant-based and eating cleaner and healthier. Everybody wants to be healthier. Internet shopping, right? Everybody does it. Brick and mortar stores are just closing up left and right. So it's all online shopping, click and order. Social media, right? Everybody's on social media. We're doing it right now. And a home-based business. So as Matt mentioned, like it's a second stream of income. It's a second opportunity. In this day and age, most people need that because the cost of living is so high. So those 4 trends, we're labeled we're #1 global business for healthy living inside and out. So we were voted that because we offer skincare and nutrition. So for stuff you eat and stuff you apply to your body, we were labeled that #1 in the network marketing space, which is pretty awesome. We were our founder, Peter Mork, was a real visionary. He started the company 40 years ago because he saw the opportunity here in the U.S. That's why he started it here, because he saw the need for safer products based off of what the European standards were way back then. So he wanted to create safer products at an affordable price while providing a flexible way to earn a significant income, right? And that's what we're doing. People are earning a significant income while still working their full-time jobs. Doctors, lawyers, athletes, firemen, real estate investors, moms at home, doctors, nurses, anybody can do this. What else? We are not just the brand, but we're definitely a healthy movement, right? So we're all about empowering people to make choices, better choices for themselves, for their friends, and for their family. We're all about transparency. We're all about sustainability. We want to create a healthier life for ourselves, but we want to leave the planet in a healthier state than when we leave it for future generations, because this day and age, it just seems like people are just, the planet's on fire, people are burning stuff, and it's just it seems to be like a scary world out there. But this is a company that we've aligned with that has purpose for humans, right? Not just to sell products. We're here to help change lives. And a lot of people are going to say that time and money, they don't have either of those, and those are often the excuse, but I encourage people to use that as a catalyst for starting this business. So those are two reasons to definitely get involved with this company, with this opportunity. So if somebody asked you to watch this, we encourage you to go back to that person. Or if I asked you to watch this, please message me. Or if Matt asked you, please reach out to him. And then just a quick recap on back to the products real quickly, being a fireman and talking about all these toxins. It was a really alarming thing why I switched my lifestyle and why I switched what I eat, learning how our body processes toxins and being exposed to the stuff I'm exposed to on a daily basis. These products in our nutrition plan help our body flush a lot of that stuff out. So we have a greater 1 to 2 times greater risk of throat, thyroid, testicular cancer, lung cancer on our job, in our space. So that was very alarming to just realize that I need to combat that in the best way I can, and aligning with this company. We honestly have zero competition. So people think, oh, like you said, I don't like love the products. I just use them because they're better, right? I was watching a funny video of Debbie Neal quoted the other day. She's like, I'm not in the shower licking my shampoo bottle because I love it so much. I just use it because I buy it online, like at a discount, and I know it's not going to give me cancer, or it's not going to lead to like sicknesses or rashes or some kind of autoimmune disease. So like, I love the nutrition. Obviously I'm passionate about that, but it's like everyone's using this stuff. Just have to be educated on how the big picture of this can really change people's lives. And that's really all we're out to do. So some last words from you, Matt. Anything to add?
Yeah, no, I think we've, we kind of wanted to paint the picture here for anybody who's curious, big enough to show you, like, really, this is an opportunity for somebody to really kind of create whatever life they're looking for. It's just a vehicle to do that. And I love that you just said that, Kevin, that it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not passionate about shampoo, I'm not passionate about protein powder or anything like that, but I am passionate about what it represents with Arbonne and how it can actually change people's lives, right? Like, again, we have products that make people look better, feel better, all that fun stuff, but we have this as a vehicle to allow people to create whatever life they're looking for. So, that's where we always say it's, this is really, at the end of the day, this is just a vehicle. It doesn't have to be your passion. It doesn't have to be your purpose, but it can allow you to discover and live your passion and purpose, whatever that may be. So that's all it is. So this was fun, Kevin. I appreciate you putting this together and asking me to be on here. And I hope, again, we were just able to paint the picture big enough for people, but also real enough for people. Just obviously, we're just two average guys who decided to take this on and create something with it and try to make an impact on the world. So I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thanks for your time. Thanks for jumping on, sharing your story and your knowledge. And just two dudes doing this weird thing, right? But having a lot of fun and changing lives along the way. So we'll have to get together and do it again soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, no,
so
I appreciate
thanks, guys.
it. So
thanks everybody for tuning in. Yeah, and we'll be doing this again soon on Instagram. I think we realized a lot of people on Facebook and the two platforms. So stay tuned, and get out there and follow up with whoever asked you to watch this. So thanks a lot, Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.